Hey there, viewers! We all want to live a long and healthy life, and avoiding gout should be pretty high on your priority list. Do you know what uric acid is? Are your levels too high and you want to bring them down? What's gout anyway? Today we're going to explain all that and more, so stick around. First of all, what is gout? If you have anyone with arthritis in your family, you're likely familiar with this term. If not, we got you. Gout is a form of arthritis that affects over 8 million people in the US. It's very painful and is caused by high levels of something called uric acid in the blood, but we'll talk more about that later. You'll feel pain and encounter swelling in the joints, commonly in the big toe joint. High risk factors for gout include obesity, certain health conditions, and being male. It can flare up and last anywhere from a few days to a few weeks, but if left untreated, it can last way longer and will probably be way more painful. Don't worry, if you have gout, it can be controlled with medication plus a change to your eating and lifestyle habits. Remember the uric acid I mentioned a few minutes ago? Well, that's the main culprit behind what causes gout in the first place. Uric acid is a waste product your body makes while digesting certain foods. When your body makes too much or can't get rid of it, the uric acid can accumulate, crystallize in your blood, and settle around your joints. If this sounds painful, that's because it is. The reason your body can't get rid of the uric acid is either because of your diet, where you're eating too many foods that produce uric acid, or it's your genes. Either way, a gout diet will likely help, so let's get into that. How does food cause gout? So we now know that gout is caused by too much uric acid in the system and then crystallizes in and around the joints. Well, foods that are high in purines are what cause your body to create uric acid, or will raise your uric acid levels. Healthy folks can remove this waste product from the body naturally, but if you can't, then eating foods with high amounts of purines would be a problem. So what are these foods? High purine foods. It always seems like the best foods cause the most trouble for our bodies, and unfortunately, this list is no different. Generally, you want to avoid going over 200 milligrams of purines per every 4 ounces or 100 grams. The most common foods include organ meats, red meat, wild game, turkey, seafood, mutton, veal, cauliflower, green peas, dried beans, mushrooms, most yeasts, including nutritional yeast, alcohol, no surprise there, and sugary foods and drinks. Interestingly, even if high sugar sweetened drinks have 0 purines, they could trigger a gout attack or flare-up. So anything that has fructose or a lot of sugar is probably something you want to avoid. This includes those delicious cookies and cakes too. Something that we've noticed is that fructose is pretty much a terrible thing across the board, so it's always best to avoid in our opinion. A 2016 study of over 125,000 people showed that those who had fructose upped their risk of gout by 62%. That's a lot. There is some conflicting evidence that says high purine vegetables like mushrooms, spinach, and asparagus won't actually increase gout risk or attacks, but there are so many veggies low in purines, we figure why risk it. These are just some of the foods that are high in purines. If you're struggling with gout, you don't have to totally avoid foods with purines, but you should probably stick to the foods that are on the lower end of the scale. Remember, we're not doctors here, so take our advice with a grain of salt, and always check with your doctor if you're experiencing gout symptoms. Low purine foods. So again, if you get the green light and you're okay to have some foods with purines in them, then these are some of your choices. Most nuts and peanut butter, most fruits and veggies, except the ones we mentioned a moment ago, coffee, we knew you were worried about that one, and whole grain rice, bread, and potatoes. You should probably be eating whole grain bread anyway, as it's much healthier for you, so that switch isn't too hard. Interestingly, some lists recommend only low-fat dairy products, but some research shows that full-fat dairy products and soy may actually help with gout attacks and can possibly reduce uric acid levels. Weird, huh? Alright, enough with the don'ts. Let's get to the do's. Here's some stuff you can and should eat to bring down your uric acid levels. Foods that are considered safe usually have less than 100 milligrams of purines per 4 ounces or 100 grams, but we won't make you measure everything out. Here's a few options. Most fruits. Love fruit? Well, now is the time to start. Most fruits are deemed safe if you're dealing with gout, but the big one you want to try to include is cherries. The dark color of cherries means they have something called anthocyanins, an antioxidant great for battling inflammation. And since uric acid causes inflammation in the body, these are a great choice. In fact, cherries are mentioned in a few studies as a great food to reduce the risk of gout attacks in the future. Tart, Montmorency, or Baladin cherries are the most recommended. Pretty much all vegetables and legumes. Like we said earlier, there's a bit of conflicting evidence on this one, and some veggies have higher levels of purines than others, but again, a few studies have stated that these are okay. Plus, vegetables have so many great vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, you should be eating them as much as possible anyway. Same goes for legumes. They're so healthy for you that you should try to eat them as much as you can. Legumes include lentils, beans, soybeans, and tofu. Some other great things you can include in a gout diet are whole grains, nuts, dairy, eggs, coffee and green tea, herbs and spices, and plant-based oils. Okay, great. So now you have a list of foods that should help with gout and gout flare-ups. But what else can you do? Drink more water. Yes, how many times have you heard this from us? We talk about this all the time, but only because we want what's best for you, dear viewer. Experts recommend 8 8-ounce glasses of water a day, or the 8x8 rule. Remember, there is water in a lot of fruits and vegetables, so as long as you're eating healthy, you can meet this daily goal without too much extra effort. Seeing as you want to drink water, you probably want to avoid stuff that's going to dehydrate you, like alcohol. This likely comes as no surprise. Alcohol has very few health benefits, and most of them come from red wine in the form of resveratrol, but even this is heavily debated. Booze can up your uric acid levels, which is the exact thing you do not want to do if you're suffering from gout. Beer is typically the highest in purines, but really you want to limit your booze intake no matter who you are. Something else you can do that you may not have thought about is balance your insulin levels. Blood sugar levels can mean the difference between diabetes and avoiding it. When there's too much sugar in your blood, your body will struggle to produce enough insulin to keep your blood sugar at safe levels. Or on the flip side, your blood could have too much insulin. Either way, getting your blood checked by your doctor isn't a bad idea. If it's out of whack, then you can better manage it and prevent gout flare-ups and all that pain. The biggest help you can give to your body is avoiding super high sugar foods, foods with added sugar and high fructose drinks, like we mentioned before. Lose weight. We all want to be healthy, and managing your weight is one of the best ways to keep chronic illness at bay. Those extra pounds could actually raise uric acid levels, which, as we now know, is what causes gout and all that pain in the first place. Now, we're not telling you to drop as much weight as you possibly can as fast as you can. That is not a healthy way to lose weight. Make sure you do it in a healthy way with proper diet and exercise. You will not only relieve your gout symptoms, you're going to see so many other health benefits that'll impact your life in a positive way. Find some friends and go on a weight loss journey together. That way you can have some fun and stay motivated to reach your goals. Always talk to a doctor and make the right diet plan for your specific body type. People are different, and one specific diet plan won't work for everyone. A healthy diet and regular exercise will give you the best shot at a long and healthy life. Want to know more about some healthy foods you can incorporate into your daily diet? Let's keep the conversation going with a few more videos, shall we? Here's some of our favorites. Check out 12 healthiest foods you should eat in the morning, or 38 delicious foods that contain almost 0 calories. Go ahead, click one, or better yet watch both and learn more about healthy food. Do you struggle with gout? Let us know in the comments below.